Hey guys, and welcome back to the channel. We have Alexandra Eala versus Katie Boulter for the round 1 matchup at the Hong Kong Open. Cannot wait to get into this one. As you can probably tell, I'm a little bit ill, but you know what? I'm gonna power through this and hopefully you guys can understand me. We have two players going up against each other who have been in an interesting run of form, I have to say, for both players, and I'll talk about that why in a second. They've never played before, just to let you guys know as well. So this will be the first time they come up against each other. We've got Eala, of course, from the Philippines, Katie Boulter from the UK. Let's touch on Eala first. So post Wimbledon and US Open specifically, let's say, she was looking pretty good. She won she won a challenger in Abiato's Open, and she was looking good. Beat Udvardi in the final there. Then she made a semi-final of 125k. Then she made a quarter-final of 125k. So she was looking pretty good throughout that whole 3-4 weeks. Then she came to the Wuhan Open and she lost in the qualifying of the first round of qualifying as well to Uchijima in 3 sets. Then lost in straight sets in Japan. And then at the Guangzhou Open, also lost in 3 sets to Claire Liu, who did have a pretty good run after that, has to be said. But again, you know, she was seeded number 4 in that tournament, so she would have been expected to make at least a semi-final. So her form has not been great. She is going up the rankings. She has heavy strapping on the top left of her arm and also shoulder. I do wonder whether injuries are catching up to her. She's playing a lot of tennis, and yes, she is going up the rankings, but I just hope that it's not the detriment of her body and her health. We'll see, I guess, in this match how she comes out and plays. For Katie Boulter, she was in really bad form for quite some time. I'm looking a lot of first round exits at Washington, going all the way back to Washington, Canadian Open, Cincinnati, Tennis in the Land second round, US Open first round, China Open second round, Wuhan Open second round, Wuhan Open qualifying first round like Eala, Japan second round, and then she made what I think is, well, Japan Women's Open. There was also another Japan Open, but she made a bit of a breakthrough, I would say, in Japan. She beat Noskova in the first match there, and Noskova has been in good form. She did, though, lose to Eva Lees in the first round of her next tournament, though, very convincingly. So she's just not been in great form, it has to be said. She's actually now ranked outside the top 70. She's lower ranked than Eala right now. It's not looking great for Katie Boulter, and that's why I think this matchup is actually quite interesting, because both players are clearly not in the best of form, and they'll be searching for it. And this could be, whoever gets the win will feel pretty confident going into the next round or two of this tournament, because they're both dangerous players when they're playing well. Look, Eala, I think being a lefty is a big advantage. I think Boulter does have a pretty good backhand. She does lack a bit of explosive movement and defensive capabilities, I have to say. Like, she does struggle at times moving really well. And I think that's definitely a part of her game where she is taken advantage of, I think, a lot by other players with the drop shot or certain angles, and players can at times maybe grind her down a little bit. And her shot tolerance is not up there with some of the best in the world. I think she's more looking to be aggressive and get on the front foot rather than having to win points through a lot of I don't think forced errors is the right word, but through a lot of opponent unforced errors, let's say, right? Which a lot of players, they'll scrap, they'll defend, and they'll look for the opponent to make a mistake. She wants the point to be played on her terms. For Eala, being a lefty is a pretty good advantage against Boulter, and I think also her explosive baseline power is going to be quite useful against Boulter, who also generates a lot of pace herself. But Eala takes very short swings at the ball, very short cuts, and relies heavily on timing and hugging the baseline. She will, in my opinion, probably rush Katie a little bit. Where though Katie has the upper hand is on serve. Her serve is superior to Alex's, but on return you'd say Alex's serve is better. In saying that, with the strapping as well, and the fact that Boulter, I think, is going to step in on the Eala, so I think that's going to be a real battle for Eala, the serve-return dynamic in this matchup. If Boulter is serving well, that is. I think Eala is going to have to try and get to neutral very early in the points, and then try and, not drag them out, but try and wrestle control of those points pretty early on with the forehand. And I say with the forehand, but actually her backhand is also very potent. I think Boulter will try and hammer it with her forehand cross, but actually the Eala backhand is very compact and quite, I would say, quite reliable source of play for Eala. She takes it pretty early, hits it flat, and it's pretty consistent. It's a pretty good backhand, I have to say, and she definitely is not scared to hit through it. It's a tough one to call because, as I said, both are not in great form. I think just from a matchup perspective, I think Eala has a slight upper hand. I would not be surprised if Katie wins, I have to be honest. But in saying that, I'm going to go with Alex Eala to get the win. I'm going to go in 3 sets, and I think it's going to be an entertaining match. Let me know in the comment section below who you think is going to win and why. Thanks very much, guys. Stay safe and well, and we'll see you on the next video.